Hey everybody, this is Slappy White with Radish Digital, and we're here with Good Morning Bo. A good morning to start your day with Bo Jackson. And of course, we've got B Dub here, we've got Eric, Mr. Hop, Card Society, and we've got Rue on uh, decked by KJ. I always, when I want to say Rue on decked by, like, it runs into it too
I
much.
know.
All
I know.
right, so let's get to a couple things. There were a couple things that happened. One was yesterday in the community, there was what seemed to be a duplicate super one of one. Well, it turned out that it was actually a fake. And one of the things we can say about Bo Jackson Battle Arena has finally made it. The scammers are here in full force. Eric, I believe you actually saw the exchange. And of course, there was a little discussion about tiny hands. Do you want to just share how people kind of noticed there was something wrong about the super that was trying to be hawked?
Yeah, so a pretty well-known Discord user and Boba community member, West AU, has the Warden Super. I think a lot of people have known that he's had that card. So when that popped up on Discord, it definitely immediately set some alarms off for many folks. Frenchie was immediately tagged. Eric S was immediately tagged just to say, why do we have a duplicate super? And then it took all of about 2 minutes to basically figure out that this was a fake. Doug was very smart in direct messaging this person and said, hey, will you coin the picture of the card, with your name and the date, which is pretty common on online marketplaces. You got to coin a card with your name and the date. And so when he got the picture, the guy's hands were like this big and the card was like the size of a piece of paper. Looked like one of those jumbo downtowns you see in some of the Costco retail bundles. So immediately knew it was a fake profile, fake card. And this person was just trying to scam somebody in the Discord.
Yep, and crisis averted. B-Dub, can you just explain to people what coining is? There's some people who love collecting, but they don't sell or buy. So when they hear the
Right.
phrase coin, they're going to be like, what are they talking about? There were no nickels involved.
Yeah. So essentially, it's just protecting yourself. Having whoever's selling the card write their name and date, next to their card. If you want to take a step further, have them take a video of the card. Have them pick up the card. So. Yeah.
Actually, that's a great point, because I know one of the team members from Boba said with the onslaught of AI, coining is going to be very hard. So obviously AI has crept into video, but it actually is one step more. So video might be the way. I actually didn't know about coining until Boba, and all I think about are all the hostage movies, and like where they have to hold up the front page of the New York Times to show that they're still alive on this day. All right, let's move on. Let's see. This is of course Good Morning Bo, and we're only live for less than 10 minutes, and so we're already 3 minutes in. Want to bring something up on stage, Rue, where I want to talk about. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put it here. So Frenchie yesterday said, full checklist around then, yes. But, let me say, Coach Crash Out said, do the checklists come out on release day for Tecmo? Frenchie, who is the co-founder of Bo Battle Arena, said full checklist around then, yes. But we will be spoiling some stuff starting mid-month to market the pre-sale for Tecmo. So there should be some good stuff to sink teeth into well in advance. Rue, how early should, it's chicken and egg. You want people excited about the set, so you got to tease them with it. But on the other hand, you don't want to know everything that's in the product, right? You want to wait for rip day and start ripping it like, oh my gosh, this is in here. I mean, how do you feel about when they should spoil what's in the next set?
I don't know that they can spoil it. I mean, people are already so excited. They could tell us nothing more, and they could tell us everything more, and I don't think it's going to change the hype around it. The text checks that come in on streams, and everybody screenshots it, and then you send it to somebody else who sends it to somebody else, and it's like the hype is there. I don't think they can tease too much. I think they could drop the whole thing, and all it's going to do is make people figure out who their PC is, start looking for something that isn't even released yet. I mean, it's just the art itself alone is insane. And I think we're going to see people, if possible, even more wanting Tecmo even more than they want Griffey. Like it's going to be wild. And it's going to be super interesting, being football only too. I'm very curious to see how this goes.
When you talk about people wanting it more, of course, there's somebody on the panel who we've got a teaser that we're going to share from Bazooka Vault that they shared yesterday. We're going to share it here in a second, and he's going to talk about, our panelist is going to talk about how he wants it. But what do you think about that, Eric, is that when we're talking about the artwork for Tecmo, like, do you think there's a concern? I mean, this art is so vibrant, so crazy. When you go back to like the Griffey update, is it going to feel too boring, too big cardboardish, because the artwork's not as crazy, vibrant, and colorful as Tecmo?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think you look at some of the previous artwork sets and, you know, you still can appreciate what it is. And it's just going to get better and better every single release. I know that they keep stepping their game up. Tecmo is extremely nostalgic. That is like pulling on the heartstrings of nostalgia with this set and everything surrounded it, not only the heroes, but the designs and some of the throwbacks to just that game. I know a lot of us are probably in the same age range of when Tecmo came out. And, you know, a lot of us probably played that every single day in our youths as well. So the hype level for this set is through the roof right now.
And B-Dub, are you old enough? Did you play Tecmo? I think you're too young, right? You didn't play it growing up.
So a little bit. So I'm 38. So we had an NES. My grandfather had a Nintendo in his van. You know, those big old vans.
Yes.
So yeah, a little bit. You know, I was younger, but yeah.
Well, it's and again, we're talking about the Tecmo edition. That's the next set to be released by Bo Jackson Battle Arena. It's a standalone. There's not, to our knowledge, there's not going to be an update. This is just one out. It was originally set to be released in February. Now it's going to be released in April, and so the pre-sale is expected this month in March. And one word is like they did switch the printers. They were printing in Colorado. It looks like they're printing now Florida and Texas, looking to get the best quality. So it's interesting. I could see like a bump here or there, which is, I think that's why we have a little bit of a delay. But the reason I think for the move was to get better quality. I do want to mention one price before we go to that tease. We've got about 2 minutes left of the show. Hold on one second.
Got boba cards? Don't guess the price. Look up their value now at radishpriceguide.com.
Okay, so I do want to mention that I went and checked at radishpriceguide.com for the sealed prices. So double megas as of March 3rd yesterday, the last sale was $135. Somebody getting a deal because those have been selling for above $150 lately. Blaster, the last sale was on March 2nd, and that was $62. Just a reminder, folks, last time I checked a couple days ago, Star City Games still had them for $59. So you don't need to go to eBay just yet. Hobby Club Hobby boxes, $700 on February 27th. All right, let's bring up the spoiler, and then let's see. Switch that guy over to, let's see. Let me switch it over. All right, boom, there it is. When we shared this before the stage, so Eric, you looked at this and you said what?
I said I need that. Yeah, that's a chase, right? I mean, I already had a few Tecmo chases, and then you throw Dion into the mix, and it's over.
Yeah, thank you, Bazooka Vault, for sharing this with your community last night, and then somebody reposting in the community we're sharing here with you. Is that Rue and B-Dub? B-Dub first, do you know who you're chasing in Tecmo based on the few spoils we've seen so far, or is it just everything?
Obviously, you know, I'm a player for and foremost, so you know, cards that we can be used for a deck. That's what's got me excited about Tecmo, having Tecmo exclusive play, you know, things like that. But yeah, they leaked some Icky Woods. You know, I'm a big Bengals fan, so we're gonna be getting some Icky.
Well, and Rue, you can't chase Rook and Tecmo, so who are you going to chase?
I can't. And I haven't seen all the art yet, so I'm going to have to wait to make sure I give you an accurate answer, but I will say of what I have seen, Warren Moon is absolutely nuts. That card, that art, and there's some nostalgia there. Like back to Mr. Hop's point. I mean, it's like I can remember being a little kid and hearing, you know, the Houston Oilers games on in the background. And it's like, that's Warren Moon for me.
Let us know what your nostalgia is. Drop it in the comments. Who are you looking forward to in Tecmo? This is Good Morning Bo.